Hi, Stanford fans. Um, okay, just checking. I got a confusing thing on microphones there, and I didn't want to have any feedback. So, hello, hello. Welcome to another Make It Monday. I am Nan Gerlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and I am here live on my Facebook page every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm pretty sure Christmas is on a Monday, right? So, we're not going to be live Monday night on Christmas, just so you know. I will be spending that time with my family. Actually, we'll have the boys Christmas night. Kylie and her family are coming down. They're spending Christmas Eve with Dan's family, just in like the next town over. And then Christmas morning, they'll come over here. They will spend the day with us. And then Kylie and Dan and their dogs are heading back home. And we will have the boys overnight and we will take them home the next day. So we will be exhausted. I took the following day off of work as well because I will need it to recover. Plus, I will get nothing done the day after Christmas or Christmas Day. So, yeah. And I tend to procrastinate and do everything at the last minute. So it's not like I'm going to get a bunch of stuff done ahead of time before Christmas. Silly. So this past week has been kind of a whirlwind. I actually last Monday, and I knew about this when I was live last Monday, but I was very anxious about a lot of things and getting things ready, so I forgot to talk about it. Last Monday, I was at my day job, and my cell phone rang, and I didn't answer it because I didn't recognize the number, so I just, pushed it off. And then I had voicemail, so I'm like, okay, it's probably like a prescription's ready or something like that, right? So I listened to the voicemail. It's one of the Stampin' Up! Employees from Utah. And, if I could give her a call back. And I'm like, okay. And my first thought was, oh, I wonder if they want me to demonstrate something on our next Zoom call. And the very next second, I realized, that's tomorrow night, like last Tuesday. I thought, oh my gosh. So I called her back, and that is indeed what she wanted. They had another demonstrator lined up to demonstrate a project, and they had to cancel. I don't know why they had to cancel at the last minute. So she asked, she's like, you're absolutely fine to say no. I totally understand. And I'm like, no, I'll go ahead and do it. And I thought, what the heck? I'm live every week, right? I can do this. So I picked a card that I had done on a live a few months ago and got everything ready. And I kind of did some note cards and a little script so I knew like the points I was going to make. And doggone if I wasn't completely like, whew, anxiety, adrenaline through the roof. So first of all, there's just something about teaching to other experts, right? Like no matter what field you're in, if you're asked to um, present to your peers, it's a little more anxiety ridden because, you're not the only expert in the room, right? So there was that. And I was telling them too, I opened up my presentation by telling them that this was one of the cards I had made for Friday Night Stamping, and I explained Friday Night Stamping, how my husband and I both stamp together on Friday nights, and then everybody in Facebook land votes on their favorites. And so I was going through, and at the end of the presentation, one of the Stampin' Up! Women said that she understood why my husband was such a good stamper then because I was a really good teacher. So that was very nice, but it was so weird because there were no comments to watch like I normally do on live. So there was like no interaction or feedback. It was just me yammering on and stamping. So, but it went very well, and I was very glad I did it and just, kind of jumped in a little scared and super fun, and I would totally do it again. So, all right, let's flip the camera here and I can chat with you as we go. A big congrats to the Stamper Man. Russ has a three-peat, 3 weeks in a row. He has won the most votes for our Friday night stamping. Yay, him. But that's not what we're doing tonight. We're doing my losing card. I did want to show this one too, and I'm not sure if you'll be, there you go, some of the sparkle, because I did put Wink of Stella on that bottle because, a glass bottle is going to sparkle a little. So, but I thought this was a good, simple card. So if you are thinking, oh, there's no way I can do Christmas cards this year, this is a good one because the designer paper does a lot of the work. You know, you got a punch, a couple of punches actually. So some good stuff going on here. And hopefully you'll get some tips and you'll say, maybe I'll make 10 for like my 10 best friends or just my mom or whatever, you know, jump in and get your feet wet. So, um, real quick before I get started, Stampin' Up! Announced today that we will have free shipping this Thursday, December 14th, on orders of $75 or more. So I wanted to make sure that you knew that. I will try to remember to show you again at the end of this live so that you remember this Thursday. So go ahead and make your wish lists and get all ready to go. Don't put anything in your cart yet because you have to load your cart and check out all on Thursday for the free shipping to kick in. What was the other thing? There was something else about the free shipping. Oh, that does include like last chance product sales. That includes clearance rack, like all your sales and specials and everything are always included in those. So, okay, let's get stamping. So we are starting with a base of early espresso. It's a standard card base. All the supplies and measurements are in the link in the video description because yes, I remembered to do that this week. I did go back last week and add that as well to last week's video. So if you wanted last week's measurements, those are there now. I'm going to set aside my inside for just a minute. I forgot my trimmer. Hold on. I knew I'd forget something. The Stamper Man is at business meetings today, so he's probably at dinner with his coworkers, which is why he's not chiming in. And so I had to make my own dinner, doggone it. And you guys know how much I just love to cook. But I do make a mean baked potato, I will say, and I enjoyed it very much. But yeah, so I was doing that. And hey, Lucia, you made it. I'm just getting started, so you're just fine. Okay, so I have used the kind of back sides, you know, the non-featured side of our one horse open sleigh papers. So I love this kind of splotchy real red, and I love this nice bleached out wood grain. And I thought they looked really great together. So I am going to go ahead and cut those. You can cut them at the same time at 4 inches. And the red one is going to be 5 1/4 inches. So it's your standard card layer. And then this guy, let me check my notes because I forgot, 2 1/4 inches. So it's just going to be on the bottom. And really, this could be any depth you want. Hey, Julie. We're having a fun time tonight. Lucia, you don't cook either. I thought I remembered that. Yeah, I'm not the cook. And tomorrow night I have a meeting with that group of demonstrators locally that has kind of adopted me. And at their December meeting, they don't do any business. We make some projects, and I volunteered to bring one of the projects. And then Tracy gets dinner, and everybody else brings sides and drinks and stuff. So we just have a good old time, I guess. So this will be my first year doing that. So dinner's on her tomorrow. I'm bringing fruit. That's easy. So yeah. Okay, so we can go ahead and attach these right away. I'm not putting any ribbon or anything like that on this. And you absolutely could cut this, you know, shorter and join them together. I find it easier for me to have that layer there and to know where the bottom of this guy's got to go. So whichever way, if you are on a tight budget and you want to use every scrap of paper you have, then by all means, cut this one shorter. There we go. I just love these colors. I love the deep dark, like chocolatey brown with the reds and the light washed out wood. It makes me happy. Which is very funny because when I first met Russ, like brown was one of his colors that he wore a lot, and I was not a brown person at all. And the funny thing is, if you notice behind me, um, are my doors and the trim and everything in my studio is all like an early espresso brown. So I've done a big 180 on brown, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to take this little strip that I cut off the bottom of my red piece, and that'll be for my inside, which is why I didn't do it first, because I needed to cut my designer paper. There, looks like I'm going to need to get a new liquid glue out soon. I have been finding, because I know we've talked about, preferences of glue, and you guys probably see that I use a lot of the Stamp and Seal, the tape. I like that because it's just like instantly dry and so fast. And I have no patience. And so, but I'm really liking the liquid glue for quite a few things lately. So, I guess I'm kind of a hybrid. I just do a little of both. Whatever is good for the particular application. But that said, if you're starting out or if you want to just stick with one, you could totally do either one or the other. I would probably, if you could only pick one, I would probably start with the liquid glue because, and I know Lucia is going to agree because she's a big liquid glue girl, but it has so many different applications. And then as well, you can use it to apply your full layers and all that kind of stuff. So it is a good glue to have on hand to start with, and then you can always get some more, some Stamp and Seal or something. And something I've never mentioned is the Stamp and Seal. You buy the whole case with the adhesive in it, but then you can buy refills. So like that just comes right off. This comes out, and you just put a new refill in when this is used up. You can see I'm getting close because I've got the red coming through. So I might have to finish this card with liquid glue. Who knows? Okay. We actually are going to use a little bit of this still as well. So now we've got our bottle. There we go. I'm really just a little disorganized tonight. And yeah, it could be the total lack of sleep. Well, not lack of sleep, but definitely not as much sleep as I normally get on a weekend. The boys like to get up at like, I don't know, 5:30 in the morning, because that's a thing. Not. That has never been a thing with me. I am a night owl. I wanted to show you all, because I'm just using the outline to this wine bottle for this one. I didn't want the full wine bottle. And you can tell our photopolymer stamps are very bendy, just like Phoebe Buffet for you Friends fans. So when it's something like this that doesn't have a shape that it's not going to hold, I always kind of let my stamp settle on the table or my grid paper, whatever. And then I take my block to it. And this block needs a cleaning. But that way I know it's going to be the right shape. And that's important for this one because we will be punching it out with our bottle punch, and I need to make sure that it's the same shape as my punch. Okay, so we are taking shaded spruce for our bottle. I am not a wine drinker, but the stamper man is. And so I asked him while we were stamping Friday night, which color should this wine bottle be? Is early espresso a good one? He said, well, they're usually clear or green, so shaded spruce it was. Oh my gosh, yes, it does. It takes recovery time for sure. So while we were up there, this is the first time we've stayed overnight at their new place. And so they have like 3 bedrooms. There is a den downstairs, but that's Dan's office as well. So when he's on call at home, he needs to, have a workspace with a door and everything. And then there's a playroom upstairs, and that is where we slept. So that was super fun. Um, we slept on a futon, which I'm 59, so I was a little skeptical about that. We did bring our inflatable mattress. We have a pretty good mattress, so we thought, well, we'll see what the futon's like, and then, But it was a really like quality futon. It was a good one. So we were okay there. We decided that was fine. But yeah, the play. Oh yeah, it was super fun. The playroom was just like, strewn with all sorts of childlike debris. And our area was pretty clean, but both nights I made sure there was a path from the futon out the door to the bathroom that was thankfully just in the hallway. Because I thought we're going to get up in the middle of the night and like step on a Lego and this whole house is going to wake up. So I almost forgot to stamp my wine in here, and that was going to be a pretty sad wine bottle. So again, I love photopolymer stamps because I can see exactly where I need to stamp that. And we have wine. I'm like Jesus over here, just making wine. No stepping on Legos. Poor little Harrison stepped on a Lego. I'm pretty sure that's what he did. He had such a rough time this weekend. That little guy, like, he bonked his head so many times. He just started walking. October, I think. I think it was right after they moved. He started walking. And there's just so much debris from the other two boys. He's constantly, picking his path through places. And then they have two big dogs that are always like, what are you doing? And one of them's, I think she's an Australian Shepherd, so she tries to herd him all the time, you can tell. If he gets near the stairs, even though there's a baby gate up, she's like right between him and the stairs. It was really cute. So good dog, but holy moly, that poor kid. Yes, exactly, buddy. You know you're getting old when you're worried about the sleep and the path to the bathroom. Well, and actually, Saturday night, like, we didn't drink as much water as we normally do while we were up there. So Saturday night, neither of us got up in the middle of the night. So that was pretty weird, but it was quite blissful as well. The boys actually slept until like 6:40 Sunday morning. I also forgot to do my greeting, but thankfully I know how to line things up straight, right? So we're just going to pop that down here. I'm pretty sure that's how I did it on Friday too. I forgot and then decided that's where I wanted it. So a little sending cheer. I love that because it has kind of a double meaning. So it's like, cheer for Christmas or whatever, right? And then also cheer because cheers with the wine. Russ can coach him. I will say Harrison is like the chill one. He's pretty easygoing. Like I said, he had a rough day on Friday. He was off balance. I don't know. Maybe the other two boys had a little bit of a cold, so maybe he's getting a cold too, and it was affecting his balance. But he just kept bonking himself and falling over. So, but he is definitely the like, I'm chill. I'm super fine with everything that goes on. Ha ha ha. He's almost always happy. So that's fun. But yeah, so we Friday night we babysat while Kylie and Dan went out with Dan's brother and his girlfriend. They haven't had a date night in a long time, so they were very thankful for that. And then Saturday night we had a graduation to go to at UIC up in Chicago. One of my best friends, her oldest daughter, graduated with her bachelor's. So that was very exciting as well. And we were so thrilled to be included in everything. She kind of just invited like her chosen family, some of her real family. And then she mentioned Saturday night that she just thinks of us as an aunt and an uncle because we're always around. And so she Snapchats me all the time and stuff. So it's really fun. And we had a blast there. And so we didn't get home until the boys were in bed Saturday night. And yeah, then Sunday they came in at like 6:40. I felt so bad because they get up in the morning and they go into their playroom to play, the two older ones. And, that gives mom and dad some time to like wake up a little bit before they have to just hit the ground running. And we were in their playroom, so they were just having a time. They were, they kept coming in and what can we do? So this is just a 3/4 inch strip of the shaded spruce I'm using, and you can totally use that trick that I've taught you with the trimmer. But this Best Trio Punch also has this little kind of a corner guy. So it's perfect for this because you get the same angle on both sides. And it's super quick. You don't have to like line it up on your trimmer. So if you have this punch, remember it for little strips like that. It works great. Okay. Trying to remember how I constructed everything. So I believe what I did on Friday and what I'm going to do tonight as well. I'm going to take our bow punch. So this is a punch heavy card because I do love my punches. And since I got my die cut machine, I don't use them as much. So it was kind of nice not to pull out the die cutting machine for anything. No embossing, no anything. And all I did here, you've got like a tiny sprig and then a bigger leaf piece. So I just punched a couple of those out of the spruce. And then I also went back to that cool wood grain and I punched a couple of these smaller ones out of that for a little visual interest. Trying to get things out of my way as I use them. Because you know me, I don't like all that stuff in my way. Okay. So here is also where liquid glue comes in super handy. I actually kind of put these all around, and how convenient that I did not put glue up on top of that. I kind of settled them all around on Friday night until I was happy with the arrangement. And then I went back and glued them in place. I obviously have a sample here that I can cheat from, so I don't need to futz with them too much. But a little bit of liquid glue just on the stem, just to hold it in place. And then I believe what I did was I would put this one kind of between the bottle and the little piece of spruce. And then slip these guys in too before I so these are not attached to the card yet. I'm just attaching the little leafy pieces. And one of my little wood guys. Ah, there we go. See, this is why liquid glue is so nice because it's very forgiving and it gives you a little room to work. But if you don't press down very hard, you can also use Stamp and Seal for this. And then press hard once you're done. Okay, so that is all on there. Now I'm going to flip it over. I grab some dimensionals, and I'm actually going to grab some of these little side pieces. And I'm going to straddle the bottle and the leaf and the little strip that I've got here. Seems to be a little crooked. There we go. Because that'll help hold that all together as well. So anytime I use dimensionals where I do this kind of, shoving things behind other things, I tend to straddle some things with dimensionals because that adds an extra layer of hold to it. Alrighty, so, and absolutely don't forget about your little your edge pieces all the way around. Just because they're not hexagonal doesn't mean you can't use them. They work just as well. And they're really great. Like, you could use kind of this whole edge piece and you could have just gone right up the bottle in one fell swoop. All right, couple of last pieces. Got our Winkostella. And I'm actually going to try to stay away from, see that green line. I don't know if you can see that, but I smudged it a little bit. Because our ink is water-based. And you can actually kind of watercolor with a Winkostella brush if you want it to be all glittery and pretty, which is great. But that also means that if you go on your ink, it's going to kind of watercolor with it, right? So on my Friday night one, you can probably see at the top of my wine level there's a bit of a smudge. And that one I didn't go over the edge. I went right on the red, so it didn't smudge. And then lastly, we will add some of my favorite sequins, some of my nice neutral sequins. Although I think I'm going to go copper on this one. I went with the darker brown on here, and I like it, but I want to see what copper looks like. So we'll put one down there, and then we'll take two up top to form our little triangle. Oh, these guys are jumping. All right, and there we are. So slightly different because of the sequins, but that's about it. Let me get you a little closer here. There we go. Oh, you can really see the shimmer on that one now. The light's hitting it just right. So yes, super easy card. Like I said, thanks, Julie. Some punches. If you've got some punches in your arsenal, check them out, see what you have. You don't have to have leaves. Maybe you've got some other doodads. Maybe you've got some circles. Just tuck them behind for some visual interest. Add some of that sequins. Maybe if you want to zhuzh it up and you've got some Winkostella, do a little of that. And I'm saying these things like if you already have, because today is the last day that Stampin' Up! Is guaranteeing shipping by Christmas. And so obviously if you're going to make Christmas cards, it'd be a little hard even to order today and have that stuff in time to make and send Christmas cards. So take a look at your stash and see what kind of things you have that you can pop together. The other thing I want to remind you of is Thursday is free shipping one day only for orders of $75 or more. And today starts the subscription period for the next Paper Pumpkin, which coordinates with our perennial lavender sweet collection that will be in the new mini catalog. So this is called Lovely Lavender. You have until January 10th to make sure you're subscribed to get this. But as I always say, don't wait because you may forget and then you'll wake up on the 11th and go, doggone it. You don't want to do that. So there is also an add-on to this. Oh, I got a sneeze coming. There's an add-on to this particular Paper Pumpkin kit of some dies. You'll see the love word here is one of them. I believe this leaf image, and then there's another flower thing, I think. There's like 3 or 4 dies that coordinate with not only January's, but also February and March's kits. So that is something new they're introducing in 2024, is they will have add-ons that will go with 3 kits in a row. So you can really get your money's worth out of those add-ons as well. Let me pop up here. Just going to change the camera view so we can have a little chat before I go. I wanted to make sure, well, I told you everything. Yeah, so tomorrow at the meeting I'm going to, I will get my, the swap that I showed up with last month, I will get my swaps back for that. So next week, I should have some other ideas to show you from other people as well. It's always nice to have some other ideas because, you get kind of, I have my way of stamping. I do clean and simple more than I do really froofy layers and collagey and stuff. Um, and so it's nice to have another perspective. Like my friend Lucia, who's here tonight, she does a very different style of stamping than I do. So it's nice to get ideas from each other because I don't come up with those out of my own head. Um, what else? I think that's it. So please remember free shipping on Thursday. So if there's anything you want, and if you're in charge of getting your own Christmas presents, well, who's to say what's the big deal if you have to wait a few days after Christmas for it to arrive? um, Good morning, Joan. Oh, we are just wrapping up, so I hope you'll go back and watch the replay. I'm so glad you popped in. Yeah, so I do know a lot of people that are kind of in charge of getting their own Christmas presents, or they basically just get them anyway because they know that they know what they want. So thanks, Joan. So if that is you, treat yourself a little something on Thursday and get some free shipping and get what you want for Christmas. So it'll just show up probably a little bit late. Okay, so I think that's all I have. So until next Monday, I am still Nan Gerlitz. Happy stamping.